Hello everyone, welcome here. My name is Oshina. So glad that you're here. I'm sharing about 10 books that shaped my channel over the 10 years that I've been posting on YouTube. I recently hit my 10-year BookTube anniversary. I've been reflecting on what the 10 years has been like and all of my reading taste, how it's changed, and all of the books that I've read. I compiled a list of technically 11, but 10 books that really shaped my channel and shaped me as a reader over the 10 years, and I wanted to share them with you. I did already put out a post about these books, but I didn't go into super depth, and I wanted to have a video talking about them and also just celebrating. I've come a long way, and I'm so glad that you guys are here along the journey. I know there's a lot of new people, but then there's a lot of people that have been here for years and years, and I just appreciate every single one of you. It feels like such a sweet community that we've grown here, and I just want to keep going. Here's to 10 more years. Let's go into the books. So these are some of my favorite books that really meant a lot to me at certain times of my life while I was posting BookTube videos, and they're books that either helped grow my channel, or I've been told many times that you've all read them because I recommended them, and they're just books that really steered a direction of my reading at certain times. So I'll explain that. I'm not really ranking them or anything, first up is Stay With Me by Becky Wade. This book will always hold a special place in my heart for several reasons. This is a top recommendation for Christian romance. If you want to get into Christian romance, I think it's a great place to start. It has all the different aspects that I think make a good Christian romance book, where there's strong faith content, it's rooted in Christian faith and love of Jesus, there is redemption, there's so many different themes of forgiveness, grace, and love that you want to see when you're learning about Jesus and reading a book. Also adorable romance, very fun, cute, witty banter, and just really sweet scenes. And then there is a mystery as well. There's a mystery of you're trying to figure out this family, what happened in the past. And then there's a whole nother unique aspect where this girl was actually in an earthquake when she was on a missions trip, and the earthquake caved her in with, I forget how many kids, 5 kids maybe, and they were stuck there for a couple days. It was just so unique. I'd never read anything like this before. On top of that, I decided to read it a second time when I was going through a really tough time in life where I was doing a job that was very difficult. It really challenged me and my mental health, and I was in a really low place. And I decided to read this book again. It was a reread, but it brought me such comfort. There was something comforting knowing what was coming, knowing the redemption that was coming. I just felt comforted reading this book, and that will always mean something really special to me because I didn't know how I was gonna mentally survive where I was at, and this book is part of getting me through that, and so it's very special for that reason. When I was thinking of this list, this was the first book that I thought of, so it really is that special to me. The next book that feels iconic over these last 10 years is Redeeming Love by Francine Rivers. This is iconic because I read it for the second time on my channel, where I hosted a little read along, and I ended up doing a live show discussing this book with another friend. And that was years ago. It's all privated now. I'm sorry about that. But that was really major for me because I was definitely very nervous about going live. I was nervous to host something that felt really important because this book has such heavy topics. I didn't know if I was equipped to lead a discussion on it, but I tried anyways, and I think it went really well. And I'm proud of myself for doing something that was kind of unknown and scary in that way. And now look where I am, where I'm hosting an entire Francine Rivers book club. We're reading books like this every single month, and I'm gonna do a live show every single month on one of her books. And that just feels really powerful, seeing the growth that you can have over the years and seeing what God can do with what you give him. So yeah, Redeeming Love is definitely iconic for that, and it's iconic for my own self as well because it was the first time that I ever saw God's voice being written in a book, and it felt like he was speaking directly to me, and it was just so powerful for encouraging my faith and deepening my faith in God. So this book is very special. I think I'll stick with the romance theme, and then we'll go into other genres because I didn't start out reading romance as a reader and posting on YouTube, but then so what was I talking about? That's such a funny thing. I guess I was still reading YA fantasy and like dystopian, but they don't necessarily feel iconic, or like they don't feel like they represent my channel over the 10 years. But I guess I could just talk about that genre, and I technically have one book that I could hold up, but it's iconic for different reasons. So it's Heart of Red, Blood of Blue by Rebecca Belliston. This was the first book that I read that was like medieval setting, where there was Christian like nods, there was Christian elements, but it wasn't like a fully Christian fiction book. And it was such a random pickup. My mom randomly ordered this from Amazon, randomly gave it to me. I randomly read it, and I fell in love with it, and I made a whole separate video for it that is still live that I will link down below because I'm actually proud of it. And I feel like it feels weird to say this, but I do feel like I was like part of spreading this around and making it known, because so many people have said that they've read this book because of me, and I'm so glad because it's a really great story. There's so many like twists, and it's just so fascinating. It's a great book. It's a great book. And this is the kind of stuff that I like to read in the secular space, but I just didn't know that it existed for Christian that was actually not boring. This is not boring, okay? Because romance, you know, but also just like interesting politics. I do really like reading about kingdom politics as long as they're done well, and it was done really well in this book. Yeah, so this is definitely iconic as well. And other than this, like for secular books, I just didn't pull any out because I just don't feel the need to talk about them, just because that's the old me. Even though like I would read them now. I don't know. You know what? It's my list. It's fine. So next to like iconic books for my channel, what was I calling this? Books that shaped my channel over the 10 years. Okay, is Tammy L. Gray. I discovered Tammy L. Gray, I forget what year, but I started with My Hope Next Door. And when I tell you the grip that this book had on me, I think about this book and I absolutely love it. Like, there is nothing better. This is the most perfect Christian romance that exists in this world. I'm just gonna say it. Like, I think about this book and I'm like, there's no better written, there's no better storyline, characters, plot, ending than this book. And that's how I felt about it when I first read it, and that's how I still feel now, and that's why I recommended it in every single recommendation video back in the day. Like, I wanted everyone to read this book. If you like Christian romance, if you're new to Christian romance, read this book, okay? And it's so good. I don't think it's traditionally published, but it might be. I'm just telling you, like, the writing, like, if I could write a book, it would be this. If I could write characters, it would be this. If I could make my dream man, it would be Asher from this book, okay? So that's all I can say, and that's why it feels like it shaped my reading over the 10 years. Similarly, this book, Love and a Little White Lie by Tammy L. Gray. This is special because it started a trilogy and it was so well written, so unique. I loved every page of it. The redemption and the plot twist, I guess you could say, I was hooked from the beginning, and this started my obsession with Tammy L. Gray's books. I just love her writing style and how she writes about real characters with real issues, but they come to Jesus in the end, and it's just so beautiful. So this also feels like it shaped my years. I would recommend this all the time, and I have heard, which I would say all the time too, that if you have not tried Christian romance, if you've not even tried romance, whatever, try this book because you might like it, because you do follow a main character who claims to be an atheist, and she is working in a church. So you see her navigating that, and it's just such a great, well-told story, and I highly recommend it. Okay, so next up we're back to Francine Rivers, because this trilogy, the Mark of the Lion trilogy, it does feel like it shaped my reading and shaped who I am as a person after I read these books. I was so inspired by Hadassah's story in these books. I've never been so inspired by a character before, and I feel like Hadassah was the kind of character that I would follow anywhere, that I would read any book about her. She had the kind of faith that I think we all should aspire to have, but that is walking the narrow way and not taking the easier path. She held to her faith through everything, and I was just so captivated I think this is brilliant. In a way, I would say this is Francine Rivers' best works because she was able to write a full series about it and cover these kinds of themes and topics. I can't emphasize enough like how encouraging but also like challenging these books are for actually living out my faith. And then this third book does like follow a different storyline and different characters, but what it follows is marriage roles and gender roles and also spiritual warfare. So very like intense things that you can have quite like firm beliefs on. And I think that she navigated it so well. That's what Francine Rivers does best, is navigating really tricky topics and topics that can be quite, like divisive. And she does such a good job of showing every angle, a character that believes every different thing that you could. Anyways, I still feel like these books, I'm very excited to read them again with my book club because I just feel like I've only read them once each, and I'm sure there's so much that I missed the first time, and I just really want to dive into her writing and the themes that she explores in these books. So there you go. Last like more lighthearted book before we get into more heavy books is Before I Called You Mine by Nicole Deese. This was my first book by Nicole Deese. Again, I went down a rabbit hole of binging her books because I was like, this is the kind of Christian romance I want to read. It had such a real touch to it. I felt like, sure, yeah, it's unrealistic. Like this guy, maybe he seems too perfect, but I felt like I was just watching someone's love story play out. And there was definitely like tough things. Like she wanted to adopt a child as a single woman, and then she meets a guy and she's like, do I go with this guy or do I continue with the adoption? And she had to wrestle through that with her faith, and she also has like family struggles, and I just loved it. I ate it up, and this book is really, really special. It was my first Nicole Deese book. It just showed me like her quality of writing and how she writes characters and dialogue and dates so well. Okay, next book that shaped me over the 10 years is This Present Darkness by Frank E. Peretti. I did a reading vlog for this book and I shared about reading it and stuff, and this book is so powerful. I think every Christian should read it. I think it might be out of print because I don't know if you can even get it on Amazon. It used to be on Amazon, but now it's very hard to find. If you have a used Christian bookstore near you, they might have it. My Christian bookstore has a used section, and there's always several copies of these books. So try there. But this is the most epic spiritual warfare story ever, and it's a duology, which is great. So the second book is Piercing the Darkness. I put both of these books on my list because I have a reading vlog for both of them where I go into depth of different quotes and my just feelings along the way. I was so encouraged that my prayers actually matter, they actually make a difference, and God actually hears them. And it also like helped me to see that like not everything is God, you know, not everything is that's happening to you God is doing to you. There are things that the enemy is trying to hurt you with, and I just feel like knowing that, and then knowing the power of prayer, I felt like I kind of got some of my power back, and I was like, I don't have to be a victim. I can actually pray and have God and his angels fight on my behalf. So that was really powerful, and yeah, it was really sweet to share about these books on my channel, and I'm definitely looking to read these again in the future because, again, so powerful. Okay, next, this is special for a different kind of reason. Where the Road Bends by Rachel Fordham. Special for two reasons. First, this was in one of the first videos that I made reading Christian booktubers' favorite books. I don't know even how I thought of that video idea, but I did. I decided to look at all my friends' Goodreads and look at their 5 stars and read one of them. And this was Amanda from Book Lover Amanda's favorite book from whatever year, I don't remember. And it looked historical. Like it looks historical. This girl, her bun and her clothing and even the coloring and everything, I'm like, this is gonna be a historical book. I'm gonna find it boring. I'm not gonna like it. And then I was like, but Amanda gave it 5 stars. Fine, I'll try it. And then the writing style, like Rachel's writing style is so good. It's so easy to read. It doesn't feel like it's kind of full of all these fluff words that are like description and like whatever, making the historical time period stand out. So I could see maybe some people wouldn't like that, but it works perfectly for me because I need to connect with the characters and being able to like visualize what they're doing. She's just really good at writing it and describing it. And so that was fun because it was a very fun reaction, fun to film that and then like feel like I'm closer to Amanda from doing it. And then I just loved my reaction reading this book because I ended up giving it 5 stars. Absolutely love this book. Definitely an all-time favorite because it has redeeming love vibes. And in terms of like, yeah, the themes, I guess, and like a few things that happen. But even more so, Rachel, the author, saw the video and she messaged me on Instagram and we now like chat back and forth sometimes, and she sent me more of her books and I've done a giveaway with her. And this was like my first really special interaction with an author. I have interacted with authors before. I do want to say I did interact with Becky Wade as well. She ended up sending me Turn to Me. Is that right? Yeah. No, not Turn to Me. Let It Be Me. Turn to Me is the 3rd book. She ended up sending me Let It Be Me, which was really crazy because like at that time Becky Wade was my favorite author and I was like obsessed with her. So for her to like see my stuff and then say I'll send you this book, I was like, what? So I should definitely say that as well. But this is special because it's linked to a video that I did as well. So there you go. But that was really fun and that's exciting. Last book of this video, you guys, that really did shape my channel over the 10 years because the chokehold that I was in from this book and the videos that I produced because of this book and this series and the way that it all ended, you know, it came to a crashing end. But it is Powerless by Lauren Roberts. This is special because I read this book when I was so sick of reading. I was definitely like burnt out from trying to read Christian fiction and finding it all dull and boring and historical, and I didn't want anything to do with it. And I was like, you know what? I don't even care. I'm gonna read a romance fantasy book that's really popular and I don't care. So I read it and I decided to make a reading vlog for it because I was like, I'm gonna do that because I just do. And I have this attitude because I was doing it to myself. I was like, you're making yourself read these books that you don't even want to read. Like, read what you want to read, you know? I'll link the videos down below because I was like really spiraling myself, trying to make me like books that I don't actually like. And this is the kind of book that I wanted to read at the time. So I read it and absolutely loved it. Obsessed. You guys know I definitely hyped this book for a lot of years. And it actually just feels like last year that I read this book for the first time, but no, it's been out for like 2 or 3 years at this point. And love it. Still very fond memories. I bought 2 copies of this book because I wanted like a paperback copy that I could just tab up and write in. I wanted a like pristine copy and I made a reading vlog for it and it's got a fair number of views because people love this book. And it's iconic because of that, because it finally like, I feel like this showed me it's okay to read books outside of Christian fiction. It's okay to read books that you think that your channel won't really care about. And then lots of people like this book. And yeah, it's really fun. It's romance. It's silly. It's a bit of a ripoff from other books, but that's okay. And then, as you all know, maybe if you don't, I have a reading vlog for the 2nd and the 3rd book as well. And it's a slow and then a steep decline after that. Like, Reckless was a slow decline. Liked it. Just riding the high from Powerless still, but then Fearless. My reading vlog says it all. I do feel like she just made this up and it just like was a steep nosedive into the dirt. Okay, don't recommend that. But Powerless I still recommend, and just let the cliffhanger be what it is. Write the rest of the story in your head like I'm gonna do and just sleep peacefully at night. Okay, but it is still iconic. It's like the whole series is iconic because I feel like you watched my like slow unravel of, okay, like what how did this happen? What not to do, I would say. And yeah, that's being like kind of extreme, but like I'm allowed. Okay, so there you go. That was a great way to end, don't you think? Okay, please tell me in the comments, did you read any of these books because of me? And then what books did you read because of me that I didn't talk about in this video? Because I want to know. And that's great. Thank you for watching, you guys, and thank you for being here. It's been 10 years for me. Maybe it hasn't been 10 years for you. I don't know if anyone original is still here. That's okay. You're here now, and I'm not going anywhere. I love doing this, and happy 10 years to me, and I just thank you guys so much. Thank you for being here with me, and let's keep going. So have a great day, you guys. I'll write all of the books in the description. I'll link videos, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye, guys. You're like, don't stop.
The pasta needs your special touch.
Why does it taste bad?
I don't like linguine sauce. White sauce.
Alfredo.
Do you?
Yeah, I know it needs doctoring for it to be
spices
good.
in, but it just tastes like nasty.
Okay.
This is for your B-roll.
Okay.
I
I have 4 books left to talk about. It just goes to sleep. You just have to click it once and then it wakes up.
Oh, she's going to work. It's already Monday, jeez.
She's working out now. She's working out now, yeah. We're gonna work out, right?
Yeah.
Okay, just like her. My ankle is like healed, I don't know.
Yeah, that was fast.
That was really fast. Yeah, I'm really sorry, Cassandra. I'm really sorry.
It's okay. Give your
I guess I just, in my mind, I was like, I'm gonna come home, set up, and start filming. And that's what I'm doing, but I'm like, I feel like I have to, like, adjust to your presence, and I'm annoyed by that. I just have to be straight up honest.
Okay, well, I'll close the door then.
Okay. Well, but hey.
No. You're good.
Comrade, or what's it called? In this together. What's it called?
You're good.
Okay, fine.
You're good. I'm making the dinner.
Okay, great.
And my girl's fixing the shower.
Okay, good.
That book sounds interesting.
Yeah. I think you'd like it.
I'm listening to you.
What are you doing?
Checking on the pasta and getting out of your hair
Okay.
for a minute.